G'day everyone, today we're going to be showing you how to patch a big hole in a plaster. I'm going to be showing you how to patch it the most easy way.
First I'm going to upgrade the ducted heater return air vent to a bigger filtered grill. Because I need a section of drywall plaster for the patch, I'm going to cut it from this grill area and use it to patch the hole. Here I'm feeling for the perimeter of the damaged area and then going to mark it out. Once marked, I'm going to cut this section out. Now I'm going to reduce the size of this piece of plaster so it's about 50 millimeters bigger than what that hole is. Now I just trace out that cut piece onto the new piece of plaster. Now I'm going to cut the lines so the cuts are just a bit smaller than what the hole is. Now we snap each of our cut lines and then carefully tear off those sections without ripping the paper on the front. There we go, the patch is ready and prepared. So just make sure that any bits of plaster is not on that paper at the back, and just going to remove any of the old paint. Now I'm just going to give it a trim with the scissors, get it ready, and then make up some mud with some cornice adhesive, only because I want it to dry fairly quick. Not too runny, but just about toothpaste consistency. Now we apply a thin layer of mud all the way around. Now we also apply some mud on the joining surface in between the new piece and the wall, so it glues together basically. Now we place the new piece in the hole, and then with the
jointing knife or taping knife,
then push out the excess mud and just slowly work it so it becomes flat. Once the air bubbles have been pushed out and there's no lumps left, then we apply a thin layer of mud over the whole surface, going just past the edges. Once the first base coat is sufficiently dried, which takes about 40 minutes, then run your hand over the surface to feel for any high spots or imperfections. Then shave down those high spots with a scraper. Mix up some cornice adhesive to make some mud.
Once the second coat is sufficiently dried, then I sand the high spots down. Now the last and third layer is top coat or topping compound, which is a pre-mixed substance, which is very easy to sand. Now I've taken as much as I need for this application, and I'm just giving it a stir or mix and flattening it out to get any lumps or bubbles out of it, using the taping knife and hawk. Then I spread a thin layer over the whole surface of the previous coat, overlapping past the edges by about 100mm or so, then working it vertically and then horizontally, and keep on swapping over until the surface is quite smooth and flat. Now it's time to sand the top coat, so I'm feeling for any high spots or imperfections. So I'm going to start off by sanding the perimeter of the top coat, just to feather the edges in. Here I've just swapped to a sponge sanding block, medium grade, just to feather the edges in at the bottom near the power point, and then I'll swap back to the other one. So I'm using about 120 grit sandpaper to continue on feathering the edges in. Then I'm going to sand the whole surface using crisscross motions. And that is it for the repair job. Then we just give it a dust over and get ready for painting. There you go. The best and easiest way to patch a hole in drywall or plaster.